Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. No, you gotta say it like me. Shalom.
Shalom.
Nah, say it right.
Okay, I don't know. Shalom. Like that?
Oh.
Yeah, I did it right. Shalom.
Yeah, we chilling. I was supposed to do the live. That my mustache poking out. I'm be. What do you say? What do you call me before?
Mustache,
Yeah,
man.
mustache, man. But yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I was supposed to do the live stream like an hour ago, but me and my sister we were having a deep philosophical conversation, so we kind of got delayed. So I'll give it about like 4 minutes or so. But yeah, today we're in Jeshua Channelings. I just did this book the other day, and I wanted to read it. I wanted to get into it because my boy Wim, he was telling me how crazy the book is. So I definitely wanted to get into it. Shalom, brother. All praise to the Most High. Thank you for stopping by, bro. May peace be with you. Uh, how they say it in Quechua? Ayanchu, something like that. Ayanchu. Shabbat shalom, beloved family worldwide. All praise to the Most High. Thank you for stopping by. We jamming to some music. Okay, so we're gonna read this book. A lot of people here already, so we're just gonna start. And we're going to read page 144. And this is called, I don't know if you can see it, but it's called Letting Go. Wait, Letting Go of Your Birth Family. So here you go.
Dear friends, it gives me great pleasure to be with you again. You are all brave warriors. Your very presence in a physical body on earth today speaks of your great courage and readiness to face up to darkness, within and without, to throw your light on it, the light of your consciousness. You are warriors in the spiritual sense, and your weaponry consists of both compassion and discernment. One does not overcome the fears and illusions of your reality by love and compassion alone. These essential, predominantly feminine qualities need to be completed by the masculine qualities of clarity and discernment.
So what are the feminine qualities? If you could read that again, should be the sentence
It was,
before that.
I don't know, why did I lose it? Oh, it's, wait, these are, one does not overcome the fears and illusions of your reality by love and compassion alone. These essential, predominantly feminine qualities need
So
to be.
love and compassion are feminine qualities, right? Mm-hmm. They are. Even though like compassion is something that usually men have more than even women do, that's still a feminine quality, right?
It makes you think about what's the feminine spirit, you know? It's like it's
Well,
not just with females. It's
of
like
course.
it's like a just a
No, it's just energy.
yeah,
You
it's just
know,
energy.
it's just energy. Uh, we all have different masculine and feminine traits. Even when it goes to like so-called horoscopes or whatever, or spirit animals that we were just talking about. My spirit animal is a feminine sort of spirit animal, or a horoscope, or whatever you want to call it. My sister's is a more masculine one, as she is a Leo, or what was your spirit animal again?
It's the thunderbird.
No, that's the clan.
Oh, it's it's the salmon.
The salmon, and that's more of like a more aggressive, more I don't know, more I don't know.
I thought the salmon was like it go free in the water, but you eat me.
I
It go
eat
free
you
in the water.
because I'm the bear. I eat you.
It's like it goes free in the water. It's like happy to swim and stuff.
I thought it
I
swims
don't think it'd
against.
be like this, like real mad and masculine, in
They
the
got
water.
muscles swimming upstream. But yeah, those are feminine qualities. And we all have feminine qualities. We all have masculine qualities. But it's not necessarily talking about men and women, you know. But we have to be balanced. So, what they say, compassion and love is
Oh, you said
who was that?
it's the one true. One true?
Oh, I might have took it. Yeah, my bad. I took his phone charger. Um, Let me see. Peace and love. Hey, thank you for stopping by, sister. I got wolf for my spirit animal. Yeah, one of my sisters, she got wolf as well. Interesting. That's actually, yeah, is Malka. Yeah, that's actually my most compatible spirit animal of brown bear. That's the most compatible one. Otter for my spirit animal and butterfly clan. Yeah, I saw that. That's great. You know, it can definitely balance out your 7 life path number. Yes, it's a natural inbuilt quality on March 16th. Supposed to be a fish, I think. Never follow horoscope and things. Yeah, I didn't either until I realized how much truth was in it. I thought it was all nonsense. I was just like, whoa, like this stuff's actually legit, because our ancestors believed in it, right? And it's not, they're not doing it out of wickedness. In fact, you know, as I always say, you could be better parents, better wives, husbands, brothers, sisters, if you just know a little more about yourself, know a little more about other people. And I'm actually going to, you know, I mean, I think Atali's going to do it, but pretty much when we start to form the tribe, you know, we might have different clans and stuff based on that. I think that would be cool. Um, Peace, power, praises for waking up today, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, bro. Thank you for stopping by. Otter is mine too. Otter gang. Whoa. Otter gang. Okay, let's continue. Just from what you
You're
read.
otter?
No, he's an otter.
You're a turtle.
No, bro.
Oh.
I'm the brown bear. The
No, I
clan
mean
is
the
the turtle.
clan is the that's what I was
Yes.
talking about. Okay, so um, the essential, predominantly feminine qualities need to be com- complemented by masculine qualities of clarity and discernment.
Clarity and discernment are the masculine qualities.
Yeah.
So,
I like
and
that.
it's crazy because listen, I consider myself to be a pretty, you know, as far as my thinking, my energy, I'm still predominantly masculine.
You are.
But my sister, in some cases, has better discernment than me. So it's not all about, oh, like I'm a man, I'm fully quote unquote masculine. It's not true. You know, same way with my sister.
Yeah. You have more feminine qualities than me in certain aspects as
Exactly.
well.
I have more feminine qualities than her in certain aspects. So it's just everyone is an individual. We have to treat each other like
Yeah.
individuals. And that's actually what we need in a righteous community. When everyone knows their purpose, when everyone knows their strength and weakness, they are truly able to thrive. Because no one's going to be jealous of each other. Everyone's going to appreciate themselves as well as other people. Right? 11:11. 11:11 what? I have a lot more feminine qualities. Yeah, like listen, man. I listen. I'm pretty balanced right there. I have to admit that. My need to want to share pretty much all the books that I buy. That's a feminine quality because I'm just like, oh, like you know, I'm thinking about other people. I'm like, well, how can this person be able to read this? So I want to make sure you can. You know, I go out of my way in that way. I'm very discerning. I'm so feminine, but I know masculine traits are so important to me. Yeah, listen, that's just how we are. That's how we are. So, you know, I am able to say, you know what? This is not my strength. I'm going to delegate this to someone whose strength it is. Right? It's just that simple. There's no ego behind it. Balance is key. The Most High gives the blueprint. Uh, wait. The balance is key. The Most High gives us the blueprint of the Father. Indeed, yes, He does. Yes, He does. The time, bro, 11:11 a.m. Where is it 11:11 a.m.? Where are you in the world? To where it's 11:11
What
a.m.
time is it?
Is that like? Is that California?
Oh.
I don't know. Shalom family. Hey, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Okay, continue, please.
Compassion enables you to perceive the core of light in any expression of duality. For instance, to recognize the light of someone's soul even if their personality is full of negativity. Discernment makes you aware of the presence of fear and power related energies in any such expression and enables you to distance yourself from it, to let it go from your energy field.
Okay, you remember what Abraham did, right? With
Mm-hmm.
Satan when he was gonna take Isaac up the mountain? Because you
Mm-hmm.
love that. My sister always mentions that because
That was so
Abraham's,
deep.
yeah, That was some G-ish, like what Abraham was doing with when Satan was trying to, you know, pretty much come at him when he was climbing up. What is that mountain called? I don't remember,
I don't know. I remember
but
he was
I
walking
forgot.
in the way to like he took the journey to sacrifice his son, you know, and then Satan came as an old man and was talking, and he was just like, "Don't even look at him. That's Satan." I'm like, "How do you know?" And then he was like, he went into the water, into like the river or something, and then he knew that there was never a river there. But then the water starts to rise up to almost like try to drown them, and he was like, "Don't even worry about it. That's just Satan." And it's just like, how you know?
That's discernment. That's that's next level discernment, bro. That's the patriarch, bro. That's Abraham. That's the masculine patriarch, Abraham.
Yeah, he was cool. And then like with his son, Isaac, he was like, cause Satan came to Isaac as like some handsome young man, and he was talking to him and stuff about it, and he went to his father because he was thought it was strange. He was like, "Yo, this man just came to me, this young man." He was like, "Don't worry, that's Satan." I'm like, "How do you know you weren't even there?"
Yo, that's true though. Listen, we got to get up to that level.
Yeah, he was cool.
I just found out spirit animal is a raven. Oh, I thought you were. Thought you said something else. Oh no, you're different. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Mount Moriah. Thank you, Mount Moriah. Yes, where I believe you guys already know Machu Picchu, where Solomon built his temple. You guys already know the vibes. Okay, let's continue.
To know who you are, you have to let go of what you are not. Discernment helps you let go of what you are not. Discernment is the energy of the sword, the energy that helps you set boundaries for yourself to find your own way. I call it the masculine energy, and it is necessary to complement the feminine qualities of understanding and forgiveness.
Bro,
Ooh.
that is some fire.
Yes.
Can you say that one more time, please? Just the beginning part of what is like. Let's say it again, please.
Discernment. To
Yeah,
know who you are, you have to let go of what you are not. Discernment helps
that's what I
you.
want you to read. To know who you are, you have to let go of who you are not.
The negative?
Like what I just said. Like if I know that I'm not strong at something, I will delegate it to someone who is.
Hmm.
You know, knowing your limitations, knowing how
Yeah.
far you can go. That is so important, man. That's so important. Now, I don't know how this has to do with our spirit family, but I guess we're gonna find out because in this chapter.
Discernment helps you let go of. Wait. Discernment helps you let go of that which you are not. Discernment is the energy of the sword, the energy that helps you set boundaries for yourself to find your own way. That makes sense. Like setting boundaries, like not letting people into your life that are negative, and be
Exactly.
like, nah, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the masculine energy, and it is a necessary complement to the feminine qualities of understanding and forgiveness. I'm stressing the importance of the sword of discernment in this channeling, for it is very relevant to issue we will discuss today. Today, I would like to speak of your relationship with your parents and with your birth family in general. When you enter a path of spiritual growth, this issue will at some point be in the forefront of your attention. One might look upon your birth in a physical body as a fall into darkness if you dissociate it from any notions of sin or guilt. The birthing process is really a plunge into the deep that you have consciously decided upon from some part of your soul. At the core of your soul, you have decided to take upon you this present incarnation, and you felt the trust and perseverance needed to accomplish the mission.
Yeah. So we all choose pretty much our path before we get here. You know, I think that's pretty much what it's saying. Unless you think something else.
I think so. Like, it's just like interesting. Like, should I read it again?
If you feel the need to.
One might look upon your birth in a physical body as a fall into darkness if you disassociate it from any notions of sin or guilt. What do you think of that? Wait,
If
one
you
might look upon your birth in a physical body. Oh, if you disassociate it from any notions of sin or guilt. I don't know.
I don't get that either. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The birthing process is really a plunge into the deep that you have consciously decided upon from some part of your soul. At the core of your soul, you have decided to take upon this present incarnation, and you felt the truth and perseverance needed to accomplish the mission. However, at the moment you plunge in, so to speak, you are soaked in a state of not knowing, a state of temporary unawareness. As soon as you enter the material reality of Earth, your consciousness becomes veiled or hypnotized by certain illusions which are nothing but deeply ingrained habits of the majority of people on Earth. This is the net that is cast around you.
What do you think about that?
Oh,
This
it
reading's
says,
kind of hard to read.
as soon as you enter the material reality of Earth, your consciousness becomes veiled or hypnotized by certain illusions. So it sounds like certain experiences or what's in front of you instead of like the spiritual and what you came here for.
Oh, you're right. Like we come here as like a pure soul, and we kind of learn uh this extra stuff based on this plane.
Mm-hmm.
Like pretty much,
Like the
we
Matrix.
yeah, the Matrix. Like we're just put in a place where things are just negative, so naturally we're influenced by that.
It says
At least
certain
where I get from it.
illusions, so it's like illusion, like the Matrix.
Right. It is an illusion because it's not
Which,
real.
which are nothing but the deeply ingrained habits of majority of people on Earth, which is just like we
Right.
said. This is the net that is cast around you. When you enter the Earth life, the memory of the other side is still fresh and alive, but you have no words to express it, no way of communicating the truth of it. The simple things like the unconditional love and safety and that surround you everywhere you go. The energy of home is still self-evident to you like the feel of water to a fish. But then you enter the physical world and the psychological reality of your parents. You reach out to them, you want to keep that sense of home alive, but it seems that you are cut off like a net cast around the fishy part of you.
And this is man, this is making so much sense as to why one of the most important qualities of someone who will be uh led by the spirit of Mayween are parents who actually raise their children correctly, who are trying to protect their righteousness and not impart themselves upon them. That makes so much sense now, because as parents, like let's say when if or when I become a parent, um I can't use my bad experiences that I've learned in this Babylonian system, in this matrix, or in this world in general, and impart it on a perfect being like my infant child, or my my toddler child, or my adolescent child, or my soon to be teenage child. Like I can't do that. I'm only doing them a disservice when I'm doing that. They're perfect. I'm the one who has been corrupted over time. They just came from perfection. So they still know how it feels. Children don't have fear. They don't they don't feel the stresses of life. They don't feel these things because they just came from perfection. So they're not gonna feel that. They even smell like they came from perfection. So
It
yeah,
smells so nice.
you silly. Love how you're not only in the New Test. Of course not. Huh?
Hi.
That's the biggest thing I wanted to say. Why I stayed and watched you over time and have seen your growth spiritually, for sure, man. It's beautiful to see. That's very sweet. Man, that's so. These are the type of people who the Most High sends to me. I appreciate you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just trying to follow the spirit of Mayween. That's all I'm trying to do. Nothing but respect, and I give thanks. I appreciate that, bro. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. Please continue.
This is the birth trauma that has physical as well as deeply spiritual aspects to it. The net that catches you as you fall is predominantly spun by your parents' way of being. Their basic outlook on life, their ways of relating to themselves, their hopes, and desires for you. When you were born, the collective consciousness on earth was still in the grip of ego based on consciousness, as it is even now. Times are changing, but there is a kind of beginning stage in which things need time to gain momentum before real fundamental change is actually brought about. At present, you are still in these beginning stages, and the inner work you do is vital in this respect. So, when you entered Earth, you entered a reality dominated by ego based on consciousness, and you got acquainted with it through the energy of your parents. When you enter. Ooh, you gonna say something?
Say that again, please.
The whole thing?
No, just the last two sentences.
At the present, you are still in these beginning stages, and the inner work you do is vital in this respect. So, when you entered Earth, you entered a reality dominated by ego based consciousness, and you got acquainted with it through the energy of your parents.
By who?
Through the energy of your parents?
By your parents. It all starts with your parents, bro. It all starts with our parents. That's why. That's why wicked parents are the number one thing, are the number one reason, and the number one people who will not hear the spirit of Mayween. Because they are the problem. They are the start of all this. They really are. And by wickedness, there's a specific way how to interpret wickedness. Because you can have loving parents, you can have nice parents. That doesn't mean that they're righteous. Because if you're not really teaching your child how to find his or her way back to the Father, his or her way back to the place they just left, you're not teaching them anything. You can teach them to be nice all day. That doesn't really matter. It don't matter. So that's why the books of remembrance kind of teach us, well, what is right and wrong? What is righteousness? What is not? That's why it says in Malachi 3:16 on to 18, it tells you what the books were supposed to do. They're supposed to tell us wickedness versus righteousness. They're supposed to return that knowledge to us, which they have, if you read the books. And grandmother talks about how we come from different places in the heavens. We all don't come from the same place. Some people come from higher places in the heavens than others. Some people came from places that were closer to the Most High than others. So some people have more love in them than others. This is all true. You know? So and some of us, we're here to be an influence on those who come from the lower places in the heavens. We're here to influence them. And it's up to them if they want to listen. But we have to be confident in ourselves. We have to return back to who we are. And don't let anyone influence you. Even when I'm saying, like, I provide all these books for you, I've had to struggle with this because teaching almost seems redundant to me. And I don't even consider what I'm doing teaching. I'm kind of just giving you my perspective. The reason why I go out of my way to do that is because I want you to have that individual relationship with the Father. I don't matter. Only you matter. None of these pastors or prophets, none of them matter. None of them should be in between you and your relationship with the Father. None of them. And you guys have to really know that. I'm going to stress that. Let's read some comments. It's all about you. It's not about me. It's about you. I think I came here kicking and screaming, I think babies cry at birth because we were actually crying because we really didn't want to leave. Hold on. It's on fire. I got to play it again a little bit. Because we were actually crying because we didn't want to leave our Heavenly Father's presence. I miss him. I think that's why too. I really do. And people they make up excuses as to why babies do and say things, but they don't really know. Like my grandmother, she just told my sister that, she used to sing when she was an infant. Like literally like sing, like had a tone to it, and it was like a song. Where did she just come from? You see, they only sing in the throne room.
What throne room?
In the Most High's throne room.
Really?
Yep.
That's nice.
They only sing in the throne room.
But I thought they sing in this first station. Oh no, second station.
They do? Well, either you came from the throne room or the second station. I don't know. It starts at home, Con. Yes, it does. It always starts at home. It always starts at home. We should always, man. I'm just like, listen, if I have a child, it has to be very, very well thought out, well planned. And what I mean by that is I need to really work on myself, because anything I teach the child is going to be on me. I don't want that sort of burden, man. I don't want that. Much love. It's who I am, bro. It's hard to find the. I think. Do you mean the genial? No. I think. Do you mean genuinity? I don't know, but that's not the right word to use, bro. That's not the right word. Uh, it's not the right word to use. On here and just in the earth today. Maybe one day we will meet in person. Of course we will. Of course you will. Declare it and it shall happen. We will meet in person. And in fact, listen, I want to take a trip to the West Coast. So I know there's a lot of people who would there's a lot of people who said, oh, they'd love to meet me. Listen, just let me know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Because I definitely want to visit out there. I want to see the land of Canaan. So I definitely will go out there one day. Confident in ourselves, I agree. Always. Always. It's the only thing that matters. You're spreading awareness for sure. I feel that. I let the Great Spirit be our teacher. Uh, Reciprocation within one another in a positive light. Indeed, that is our teacher. That's our only real teacher. He might let people lead, you know, other souls back to him, but I can't teach you anything. I don't teach. I can, take your hand, be like, hey, the Father's that way. Or your teacher is that way. I'm not your teacher. Uh, oh, okay. I thought that was like genitalia or something, but it says geni, geniality. I never seen that word before. I never seen that word before. So you taught something. I gotta look that up later. Have you heard of Bobby Hemet, brother? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. But anyway, let's read.
When you enter the reality of ego based consciousness as represented by your parents, you deal you get to deal with a number of pervasive illusions, of which I wish to name three important ones. The loss of mastery. The first illusion is the illusion of the loss of mastery. This illusion makes you forget while you grow up, become an adult, that you are the creator of everything that happens in your life. Most people do not recognize what happens in their life as their own creation. They often feel they are a victim of greater powers that make and shape their life. This is the loss of mastery. The loss of unity. With the plunge in collective human consciousness as portrayed by your parents, you also lose your sense of unity with all that lives. The basic realization of the oneness of all things is slowly filtered out of your consciousness. You are encouraged to build your own ego according to ego based consciousness. We are all essentially separate beings struggling for our own existence, struggling for survival, nourishment, and acknowledgement. We seem to be confined to our own body and locked into our own psychological reality, with no true and open connection to the other. This is the illusion of separation and the tragic sense of loneliness that occupies it.
That's a mouthful. Some of those concepts I don't really understand.
Well, I'm guessing that the loss of mastery is like, you thinking like what I just said, you feel as though you don't have that power, that you're not as powerful as you think, because what's powerful is to think, well, I'm the one who has control over my life. I'm the one who put out all this energy. I'm the reason I'm in this situation is because of myself or something like that.
So how do you think our parents make us lose that sense of mastery?
Um uh I guess it's also maybe us feeling underneath them, I guess. Like, I don't know, maybe it's their own perception of that loss of mastery in themselves that they project on us.
I'm asking this so maybe
Because they
we can be
probably
better parents when our time comes.
because they feel like they're victims of their environment. That's the only thing I can really think of is like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
not allowing, them to or the child to feel as though they're not victims in that way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because even when you think about just how parents are, how our parents were, you could say that they felt as though they were victims, or the people that we met, they felt as though they didn't have control over their lives. So they always try to find control. That's why you have narcissists. That's why you have negative people.
Hmm. What about the loss of unity? How do you interpret that part?
Well, I've always been trying to feel like I want to feel a deeper connection or a higher connection with my like higher self, and this is like a form of loneliness where you feel like you're alone, like you're by yourself, sort of thing.
But how do you think our
And
parents make us feel disconnected from that?
well, it's like it's not feeling a oneness, like it said, with all things, and feeling because the only thing I can think about is like because I know in the ancients, I'm sure that they taught their children that they're connected to all things. Kind of where you hear about the natives and
Mm-hmm.
how they're like, oh yeah, we're connected to the wind, to the trees, to the earthly mother. We ourselves lost that sort of perception because it doesn't really talk about time
Mm.
period here. It doesn't really talk about anything else except kind of like a broad, more understanding. But maybe because it's just not taught. We weren't taught that.
No, we weren't. Definitely not.
The loss of love. And then there's the loss of love, meaning the sense of unconditional joy and safety that belongs to the very heart of you like a natural bright birthright. As you enter the earth plane, on which the energy of love is not self evident at all, you gradually start to confuse love with all kinds of energies that are not love, such as admiration, wealth, or emotional dependency. Mm-hmm.
This book is fire. Oh my gosh.
It's true. Like I think we were just talking about that.
We really were. Let me read some
These
comments. Hold on.
okay.
Shalom, brother and sister and family nation. So happy to be together again. Thank you for stopping by, sister. I appreciate you. Zen Buddhism, be like water, formless, stillness, aware of that we are all one in the universe, and the universe is in us. You hurt me, I
It's
hurt
true.
you. I hurt you, I hurt myself.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
It's true.
That sound. I think Bruce Lee probably quoted that, but yeah, that's some. Listen, that's some definite truth. Ah, I'm in a weird position. You can continue.
These confused notions of love affect your relationships, basically make you continually search for something outside of you to regain the sense of unconditional love that is actually deep inside you. So, yeah, it's like you always searching for that. You're always searching for love outside of yourself. Like I just said, you're looking for wealth, emotional dependency, admiration, but you're not looking for it within. You're
Oh.
looking for it through, like, things that don't really matter.
So your parents kind of disconnect you from this stuff because they don't know that you always already had it, or you had it when you got here, and
Yeah, because they
instead
feel
of
that way.
yeah, and instead of them trying to preserve it, it should be fine. It should be fine. I don't think they can hear that.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of trying to preserve your goodness, they try to teach you goodness.
Yeah, exactly.
And they think that they know what they're talking about when in actuality, they weren't even taught right. So how would they know?
Yeah.
The baby is the one who just came from the heavens. Your 30, 40-year-old self has been 30, 40 years old removed from the heavens. So, you know, regarding parents, loss of touch of who they really are, loss connection to source. I blame Babylon, but there's a chance and we all have it. It is definitely true, and they didn't have elders. I don't necessarily blame them that much. I give them some blame, but I forgive them. It's good to give blame, but you got to forgive people as well, understand them as well, because they could have made better decisions, but, it was hard. I'm sure it was hard. So it is what it is. Like, just chalk it up to Babylon, like you just said. Um, the sense of separation is a form of initiation in the realm of physicality to find back the universal unity. Oh my goodness. This person is dropping some heavy heat. Let me read that again. The sense of separation is a form of initiation in the realm of physicality to find back the universal unity. So the
Damn.
physical separation is to find the universal unity. And honestly, it's because you have to have people on the same accord. You have to separate from people who are not on the same accord. If you're going to be linked with other people who are not trying to be one, like, that's not going to help anybody. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help them because they're wicked ass. They're going to feel like, you know, you're the source of their problems because they're just going to project on you. I genuinely believe our generation are born in aquariums, and that's why our perception is widened in comparison to the last generation, our parents who lived during the last age. There's a severe age gap. That is true, and there's also an Ashinabe, uh, like prophecy. I went over it on my channel. I believe it's called the Seven Thunders or something like that, something like seven something. But pretty much what happens in the seventh thunder is all of the old people, and it's not talking about physically old people. It's talking about the spiritually, you know, old people. And I don't mean in a wise way. I mean in a dried up, uh,
Bitter old man.
bitter old man type of way. And the children would be the ones who would pretty much restore, uh, the Red Nation back to its magistry. There's a severe age gap. Is there? I never really thought about it in that way. Do you think there's a severe age gap with us in the? There probably is actually. Now I'm thinking about it. There kind of is. There kind of is. We probably have older souls than our parents. Yo, didn't I not say it the other day?
Yeah.
I just said that. I just told my sister. I was like, see, a lot of people they like, oh, he's young, and I'm like, I feel like I'm older than you. Like that's the funny thing. Like I feel like I was one of the first peoples here. Like I actually was one of the souls who descended from Seth. And I think some people walking around just came around like recently and they have the nerve to call me young. Like I actually feel a connection with some really old ancestries. Like I just do. So who really is young, who really is old? That makes so much sense separation. That was a fire quote. Thank you for sharing that. Fire quote. Please read.
How these illusions or losses affect you depends on the specific energy of your parental house and your family environment. So it really seems like it's from like if your parents understand like the loss of mastery, loss of unity, and the loss of love. If they're able to like fully understand it and to kind of show and teach it in a way that is good.
You know what? Because people always wondered, I always wondered this, and I'm sure other quote unquote black people, they've wondered this. Why do white parents treat their children better? Like
They're not cursed.
they're not cursed. I know that, but that's pretty much the reason. But yeah, but how do they treat their children better? Well, they speak to their children in a better way.
Yeah.
They just do. They make them feel more uplifted.
Yeah.
And even they have some sort of understanding of that, that unconditional love. I have noticed that, and that's because, again, we've been cursed because we messed up in a major way. So the Most High kind of took, his spirit from being close to us and kind of let it be around them, and they experienced how it felt to be the chosen people for a while. you know so that's pretty much what's occurred, but we're getting it back, and we're finding out, we're pretty much learning it again. But the only way you can find it is through your humility. That's why it said in that prophecy that the children would be the saviors, because the children are really the humble people, are the ones who are really going to be able to carry the baton. Aquarius, not aquarium. I thought it was Aquarius. I was like, aquarium. I don't know. That's some new stuff. I feel like my 2-year-old daughter is more mature than me. You should look up her life path numbers, her spirit animal, all that. You know, and you can know your daughter before she even hits the age of 5. You know, uh, we're probably luminous beings who choose to descend here to help young souls to ascend. I felt. Did I not say that?
Yeah.
I said that exact same thing. I said I feel like I was sent here to help other people ascend. Like, cause I'm not trying to sound. Listen, I'm just gonna tell the truth, how I see it. Most of the people who I'm around, I'm just helping them. Like they help me in certain ways, but for the most part, I'm helping other people, and I don't mind it. I like doing it, but I don't get the same reciprocation, and it's not because they don't want to. I just feel like I was given the tools to do it. You know, so it's all good. There's no judgment. It's just something that I've noticed. So that's a very It's a very intuitive statement to make. Do you think we are cursed because we created white people? I pondered this for a while. I don't know, but I do know that we're cursed for being wicked as hell. Taking the Most High for granted, taking His knowledge for granted, His land for granted, taking all these things for granted. That's why we're cursed. At least the children of Israel. That's why we're cursed. As far as the other, indigenous races of the earth, um, they're not necessarily cursed, but they are being oppressed. The children of Israel are oppressed and cursed. So there's a difference. You know, the children of Israel are oppressed and cursed. The indigenous races are oppressed. So you will see all these different indigenous races all over the planet. They are oppressed, right? And it's just because that's just what the enemy is doing. He's opposing the native races here all over the world. Whoever failed to realize the truth would reincarnate until they succeed, but the ignorant will be put to the end in the judgment day, right? Well, I mean, that's what I think. That's what I've read. That we keep coming back here until we get it right, and that's grace, honestly, because if we just had one chance, a lot of people would be burning in that lake. So I definitely do think that we keep coming back here to get it right. And some people are on special cases to where, they offer to come back here to help other people, you know. So that also happens as well. Life Path, Destiny 7, indeed. That's the one of third eye, metaphysical. You guys just have to make sure to worry about the present and stop living in the spirit world all the time. You have to learn how to live life a little bit, relax. It's all a lesson. We are refined through the curse. Indeed, it is all a lesson. It's what we cause in ourselves, but the Most High, He's good in all His ways, so He's gonna use it to make us, quote unquote gods, lowercase g. You know. So go ahead, please continue.
How these illusions and losses affect you depends on the specific energy of your parental house and family and environment. Generally, the parental consciousness is a mixture of ego and heart, of fear and light. There are certain areas in which your parents are likely to be very attached or hooked up with the illusions mentioned above, but at other points they may be quite enlightened, for instance, by having experienced suffering and inner growth in some area which open up their hearts. The specific way in which they are stuck in the illusions of ego-based consciousness is different for each parent or family.
And going by what I was saying before, like, do you remember that dude that wrote Black Boy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Richard Wright.
Richard Wright. Yeah, and another book I forgot. I don't know if you read it to me or I read it myself,
You
but
read that Black Boy?
huh?
You read that?
No, I think it was a similar book. But no, 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 it wasn't him. It was that dude who wrote Finding Fisher. One of those books. But it was one of those books. No, it wasn't that book. I forgot, man. It's been a while. I don't really read stuff like that anymore. But it was like some sort of African American history course that I took in college, and our professor had us reading this book, and the book just showed a staunch difference with how you know so-called black people, they look and they talk about white people and vice versa. For example, a father, he saw a little white girl with blonde hair, blue eyes, and he would call her baby and honey. But his daughter, you know what he said? Hey, you, get over here, you. There's a difference. The difference is because that's how they talk to each other. At least back then. Now, they scrapping. They really, like, bro, these curses are really flipping. Like, I know people be saying that. I agree with that. I'm seeing that. These curses are really flipping back on them. Like, they don't even know. Like, these curses really are flipping back on them. But yeah, that's just how we spoke to each other. You know? Even my grandmother, she even calls my nephews like, get over here, boy. Or hey, boy. Like, why? Why?
Yeah.
Why? It's not, you don't do that. It's just little things. It's little things. And when you say these little things, it has such an effect. The Most High will never say, hey, you, get over here. No, He'll call you by your name that only you have. See, the Most High probably has a specific name for you that only you have. That only you have. Or if it's not literally the same name, then he looks at it in that way, where you are totally separate from all of his other souls and creations. He will never call you boy or get over here, girl. No. You give your child a name, you call your child by that name, and you make sure it's a sweet name that uh, describes their personality that only they will have. Have it be endearing, or if you have a nickname or something like that. But it all starts in the house, bro. Um, your thoughts on the bodily resurrection? I have to go over that. I have to go over that. It says it in the Book of Remembrance, though. So, like, if you, we could go over it next week if you want to. I'm overly spiritual sometimes. Need more grounding. I'm naturally funny. Otter vibes. Yo, I already know. But my problem is that I could be under spiritual, meaning I can miss the whole spiritual aspect or metaphysical aspect of things. So, you know, listen, as I said, the otter, that's I think that's one of the, no, is it the otter? No, that's the life path number 3. I don't remember. I think it's the wolf I'm talking about. But now this says the Lord, he who created you, O Jacob, he who formed you, O Israel. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. Isaiah 4:1. That's a great precept. That's a great precept. But I was actually referring to just how it says in the Book of Remembrance. Says how the Most High sees us all. He sees us all as individuals, as their own separate creation. None of us are the same. Not one of us are the same. Even we could be very, very similar. We're still not the same. He sees us in that like it says. What did it say about mountains? And this, or what was one of the 24? I forgot it, but it said that in the same way how each mountain is different, is the same way how each and every one of us is different to the Most High. So that's how he views us. You know, you'll never see a mountain that looks exactly the same. You'll never see a person that looks exactly the same. So you have to see how the Most High sees you. You have to find that love that, sadly, our parents did not teach us properly. Some parents do a better job than others, but all parents' responsibility is to keep a child's innocence and build upon it by teaching them how to combat wickedness. That's really their job, because we're living in a world of wickedness until it's exposed on this earth. So that's a parent's primary responsibility. You can read.
When you enter the specific configuration of energies that makes up your birth family, your consciousness is wide open with hardly a sense of personal boundaries yet. As a baby, you take in your parents' energies even thoroughly, like a basic imprint that has a deep effect on how you experience things later. There is no filter yet. It is only much later, when you become aware of yourself as yourself roughly during puberty, that you grow the consciousness needed to sift through these energies and find out what feels good and natural to you and what does not.
Exactly. And that doesn't make any sense. This is why I go over stuff like life path numbers, spirit animals, guardian angels. Why? I keep harping so you could be better parents. You can raise your children and gear them towards their strengths without them even noticing it. To the point when they get conscious of it, when they become 14 years old, when they become a scriptural adult, now they could be like, oh wow, you see, my parents, they were teaching me everything that I wanted to do. Like, this stuff gets very deep. This is why this stuff's so important to our people. The Most High, Anoka said, did create each individual for their created purpose and destiny, and Messiah prayed for each individual. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you. Each and every one of us. You can't have a righteous community unless we are all like at one and at peace with ourselves. We can't have one. Otherwise, it's just going to be full of jealousy and thinking, well, why can't I have what he has? Why can't I have what she has? Or I must be this way because I don't have what she has. No, you can't think that way. You have something that no one else has. That's all you have to worry about, you know? And whatever you want, the Most High will give you. You just can't want what someone else has. If you want to be more beautiful, then ask. It's that simple. Just ask. If you want, uh, a bigger home because more comfortable, ask. But don't be jealous of someone else. You ask. You have that relationship with him and ask him. You don't be jealous of this person. That's not how you do it. You just ask the Most High. That's it. Continue.
First, you attach yourself very strongly to the what's this?
Paradigm.
Paradigm of your parents. And then, as you grow older and gain more self awareness, you start to question your parents' outlook on things as you are looking for your own sense of identity. This psychological growth process is very much akin to the transformation from ego based consciousness to heart based consciousness. The natural stages of Earth life, the biological and psychological cycles and seasons correlate with natural growth stages in the spiritual sense. The the transition from ego to heart-based consciousness often runs parallel with overcoming the limiting, fearful energies that controlled your birth family.
And check this out. This is why it's important to raise your children based on their strengths. Let's say, I'm a life path number 3, right? So I have certain strengths, right? But if my child is, let's say, a 7, right? Because a lot of y'all in the chat right now. Um, if my child is a 7, I'm not going to impart my energies, my philosophies, and how I see the world on my child. Why? Because my child is not going to think that way. They're just not. That's not their energies. So all I'm going to be doing is hampering their growth. When it's time for them to become an adult and to come into their own, all I'm doing is hampering them. So what it's best for me to do is say, you know what? In certain aspects, let me delegate. Let me get my child around more life path number 7s. And that's where a community comes in. Or my child has this guardian angel. Let me find someone who has this same one and who can talk to them about their experiences or something. That's the bro. Our people did this. Like our people did this. They had different sorts of clans based on when you were born and things of that sort. And they had you a part of that clan. You could talk to those people. You could relate to those people. So you can grow into your own and not even realize that you're doing it. Your parents have a role, but your parents are not your all. You're doing too much. We as I can't say we. I'm sorry. I'd love to, but I can't. You as you as parents, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. You just need to do what you can and pass it on. That's all you got to do. Shalom, Zion. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Shalom. That's awesome, brother. Right. Our forefathers and mothers knew this. It was natural. Yeah, it was all, man. They knew all this. This is why we set up a whole everything for it. It was very important. I always have to repent for not teaching my kids the right way. I don't know what I'm doing. Listen, that's a very honest statement and good for you. Good for you. There's many things I had to admit. Listen, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Please teach me because I'm sick of being ignorant. We all have to do it. There's no judgment here. I'm just trying to, you know, tell people so that they can repent or they can know how to do it if they have children. It's one of the two, right? No, I knew. I knew you meant to say new. Go ahead.
The cosmic birth trauma that you experience when you are born as an individual soul is some extent repeated every time you begin a new earth life. At the time of your birth, your parents belong to the energy of the earth. They have already adapted to this dimension to the laws that apply here. Often, these are limiting laws which are not at all self evident to the child. The parents thus represent the ego based consciousness for the child. The energy of the three illusions the child meets these through the parental home and the way in which they have taken shape, and the parents will influence the child strongly for the rest of its life.
And this is exactly why I'm so like staunch that we need a community. And I will make a community. I don't care what people say, I don't care what they think. I declared it. It will happen. Why? Because this is what I want to do in righteousness. I want to see your child grow up in a righteous community where they don't have to be influenced by this. See, a lot of this comes from fear, right? I can say that from experience because, you know, my father and I, we would clash. We would definitely clash philosophically, how we think. You know, he's just totally different energy than me. He's a six, bro. That's literally the enemy of mine, the three, because he likes to control. He likes to keep everything close knit in his cave, and I'm like, nah, I want to go outside. I want to play. You can't stop me. So we would clash, right? And even in doing like my career, because he wanted me to go to college. I did not want to go to college at all, but he pretty much said, no, you're going to go or you're going to get out. So I was like, okay, whatever, fine. So I went, but I wanted to do it in a degree that he did not like. He wanted me to do medical. I told him, I'm not doing that. I'm not good at that. I don't like it, right? And his thing was, all right, but if you do that psych degree, you won't be able to get a job. The only people who get jobs in that degree are Jewish people. I'm just like, you're speaking out of fear. This is pure projection. Like, this has nothing to do with me. I told him that. I was like, listen, that's you. You don't think the Most High is going to bless me? But I realized he's been doing that the whole time. How many other opportunities did I miss from listening to the projections of my father, to listening to his fears? And what are we doing with our children if we do the same thing? It's not right. It's not right. We got to do better. I'm not saying I have the answers. All I'm saying is that the answers are there. We just have to look for them. I'm putting a flashlight on the answers and saying we got to look for them. I'm not saying I have them. I'm not bringing this up to say that I have them. I'm saying it to be like, yo, we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. Let's move towards, like, we're missing the details, right? We're missing something. That's all I'm doing. I feel your humble nature through the screen. Admitting it is a big step. You got this. Yeah, you got this, bro. You got this. You got this. I don't know if you're a bro or a woman. I'm sorry. But you got this. You got this. Listen, that's the first step, and it's a major step. That's a step that most people can't make. So you should be very happy for yourself. But it doesn't stop there. Now you have a lot of praying to do. You have a lot of seeking to do. So thank you for that again. Fear is the worst fuel to operate. It is. It is, because it's not productive. It always gets you stuck somewhere. It always gets you stuck somewhere. All praise to the Most High. Right after your declaration, the Pisgah National Forest began to flood, cleaning the land.
Really? It began to flood?
Yo. I just got goosebumps, bro. Are you kidding me? Man. I guess I just got it like that.
Oh my God.
What do you mean? That was cringy? I was just joking. How am I ruining anything?
No, I said just trying to run away.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yes, you're a woman. I'm sorry about that. Tawadah, brother, I didn't know how much in the world and was scared that I was vulnerable, but the Most High opened my eyes this year and I feel very safe. Yeah, all that, man, all vulnerability is a great thing. They teach you that it's not a good thing because, people are weak and they're bullies. They got hurt when they were vulnerable, so they jump at a chance to screw people over when they're vulnerable. They're just like, well, damn, like, I want to do you like my father did me or my mother did me, right? And so they just go ahead and do it. I've been done wrong many times for being vulnerable, but I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to give up my innocence, bro. I'm gonna keep being me. Like I don't like being some hard ass. I like being a big kid. I like being vulnerable with people. It feels good. It feels fresh. I don't have to like keep things right wound up. I just get to let go and be free. So yeah, vulnerability is a great thing. It's power. Vulnerability is power. Remember that. That's an awesome experience to share. It happened for a reason. It definitely did. It definitely did. And it was really at that point where I realized my father is just a person who's plagued by his experiences, like everyone else. And I have to break the cycle. It's that simple. So please continue. What are you doing over there? You think about the Pisca Park?
No.
What are you thinking about that?
I was thinking of boy, Sean's little, no, his like little son, Dan, and mine is so small.
What are you talking about? My
It's so
sister's so
small,
silly.
you know?
Yeah, my sister can't wait to meet all the children, all the little children.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's giddy about it. Listen, man, I can't believe that. I gotta look that up. Starts to flood after I make that declaration. As Listen, start praying about it. Start praying about it.
It's like small.
Help the declaration come true, because it's not for me. Definitely not for me. I wouldn't make a community by myself. All the righteous are invited. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's continue.
Especially in the first 3 months, the child takes in the surroundings very deeply. The energies of the parents sink into the child's consciousness, unhampered by rational thought or defense. On the other hand, there is still a piece of heaven in his memory, a part of the child's consciousness that is untainted by illusions, that's now love, mastery, and oneness as the natural state of being. This awareness collides with the ego based energies around it. And this is a deeply painful conflict. It can make the child want to turn around and go back home. It can cause grave resistance to life at the very start. It is actually the cosmic birth trauma repeated over again.
Wow.
3 months of like life, or 3 months of in the stomach, or what?
I think it's talking about out like in life, like out like after birth. So how? Listen, I run into people who say this all the time. They'll say like really like nasty things, and they'll be like, "Oh, the child's not gonna remember anyway. Like it don't matter."
Oh yeah.
You are Come on now, really? I'm not gonna throw any name calling, but come on now, really? That is incredible. No, your child, it doesn't. It's not that it physically remembers it, but it's going into their spirit. Your child is receptive. It is a receptacle when it is first here. And the Most High gives it to you as a gift, right? It's a gift. So if your job as a parent is to teach your child, then the child's going to be fully receptive from the womb onward until it finally until it finally starts to develop its own uh, sense of reality and sees how badly you messed up. And sometimes it doesn't happen until they're 40 years old. It's dangerous stuff. Like, man, it's crazy. Like, the stuff that parents do around their children, and they just don't even care about it. And again, I'm not saying this out of judgment. I'm not. If you've done it, I'm not like saying, oh, shame on you. No, if you did it, you did it. It's all about understanding what needs to be done, right? That's it. So please don't take it that way. But yes, parents, they don't get how important it is. Even the water you drink. If you have like they already I forgot who did a test on it, but they did a test on water that pretty much had like high vibrations played into it. A water that was moving with sweet sounds, like not yelling, you know positive reinforcements or uh vibrations in the air, rather than screaming, shouting, yelling, cursing, all that other stuff. uh I think the water that had the more pure vibrations and the less screaming and stuff like that, that water was better than the other water. I think it was pure or something. I can't remember what was the difference, but it was better. That's just water. So what do you think we're gonna be as a receptive little ball that just came from the spirit world? We're that much more receptive. That's just water. That's a child. That's crazy, bro. The water could remembers your energy. Of course, the child's going to. Every word and action affects the children. Yes, every word and every action. Doesn't matter if you think they're gonna remember it or not. They're gonna remember the energy. You know, some parents they have sex in front of their children. Like oh, it's just a child. They're not gonna remember it. Okay, they might not physically remember it, but when they grow up to be a pervert, a perverted person, is whose fault is it? People don't think of stuff like this. Unless you become as a little child, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 18:3. Indeed, you will not, because a little child is innocent. That's really what it's talking about. It's talking about your innocence. It's not talking about you have to act like, like you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to literally act like a child. Your spirit has to be like a child. Kingdom of heaven is within you. If you don't humble yourself, embrace your inner child, then you will definitely be in a state of hell or experience low vibration until that scripture gets fulfilled. You just said it pretty much. Thank you for that, and thank you for that. That was beautifully. Let me say that again. That was fire. Kingdom of heaven is within you. If you don't humble yourself, embrace your inner child, then you will definitely be in a state of hell or experience low vibration until that scripture gets fulfilled. And our people, they knew this. You know, whether it was our people in Mexico, or Peru, or even India or China, like the other, provinces that they made, they believed in what? The serpent, right? The serpent. Now, of course, they made it into some wicked stuff where they made it into, Yahweh, where you had to sacrifice a child to the serpent and stuff them into mountains and wait for the serpent to eat them. No, that's wicked. But when we talking about the real serpent, the spinal cord, the kundalini, activating it, the chakras, and now you have to master the chakras, master the air kadeshoi, you know, yes, the spirit, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It's within all of us. Quite literally. So you can continue.
State of being, the awareness collides with ego-based energies around it. Okay. How does a child handle this collision or conflict of energies? Most often, it shuts down some parts of himself or herself. Some parts of the child's consciousness will go into hiding. The child will tend to comply with. Some parts of the. The child will tend to comply with the energies of the parents, adapt itself to them, for it is wholly dependent upon them from the start. The child is in a very vulnerable physical state, and it has a great desire to be nurtured and loved by the parents. Its memory of the natural state of oneness, love, and mastery is actually the child's gift to the parents. But they are often able to receive this gift once they have been veiled by the energy of illusions. They are thus unable to truly receive the child.
Wow, man. That is so. But that's reality. So I can't say it's sad. It's just reality. Yeah. As children, we're trying to please our parents. So we give up what we're doing right, even as children. We give it up to please our parents. When they're wrong, we still say, you know what? We'll be wrong so that we can get mommy's love or we can get daddy's love. That's not right, man. That's not right. That's a shame. We got to break the cycle so that our children don't end up like that. And if your children are like that and you've done it, then so be it. Repent from it and understand what it's like. Or maybe you could be, you can help some other parents and teach them where you went wrong. Do something. But repent. You've repented, so don't take what I'm saying again. Please. I don't want anyone to feel like they're being attacked from what I'm saying. I'm not saying it to judge anyone, right? Please. Anyway, continue.
And what happens to a child that grows up? Most children choose to adapt so strongly to the parental frame of reference that they lose touch with their original soul energy that they were still very much aware of in the beginning of their incarnation. In this first phase of life until puberty, they are so involved in focusing themselves into this world and getting love and attention from their parents that they themselves forget who they are. How does this affect the child? The child who has unbridled longing for love and safety when it stumbles upon fearful blocked parts in the parent's energies. It will be confused by them. It will experience pain and a sense of abandonment. But it will hide these emotions from itself because they are too painful to fully realize when you are in such a state of vulnerability and openness. When the child will do what the child will do is put on blindfolds and create illusionary images of love to survive emotionally. It will allow itself to be confused by false images of the parents because if unconditional love is not available, conditional love seems better than none.
Man, oh my gosh.
The child will generally bend over backwards to get the love and safety it needs and remember from home. And
Hold on.
therefore,
Hold on. So this is why it says in the book of remembrance that the real commandment is not honor thy father and thy mother. It's respect and love your children. That's the real commandment. It is not honor thy father and thy mother. The child was sent here for you to raise them. The child was not sent here to serve the parent. That is 110% wrong. That's not correct. Parents are here to teach their children. Children are not here to serve their parents. So, I don't know. Listen, all this stuff came from Aaron. That's Aaron's laws. That's not the Most High. It's sad because, listen, if the child was thinking real logically, it would pretty much say, all right, well, my parent doesn't love me because they're not providing me with unconditional love. They're not providing me of the type of love I just came from. They're not even trying to. So it's either my parent doesn't love me or it's, you know what, maybe this is really love. It's sad, man.
for example, it will confuse love with a parent's pride in a certain achievements or a parent's emotional need for the child.
I also read that not everyone could be a Quetzalcoatl or have the Kundalini experience. It was said that only if you've had a pure heart, that process of death and rebirth will benefit you. But if your heart isn't in the right state, that process can impure your path. Interesting. That is so interesting. So not everyone can even reach that higher level. You can only do that if you have a pure heart.
But I feel like you wouldn't be brought back if it wasn't that you couldn't reach it.
You wouldn't be brought back if you couldn't reach it?
I think it might be harder for them, but I don't think he would bring you back if you weren't able to reach it.
Well, you don't necessarily have to reach the Kundalini experience to be a righteous person.
I don't know.
But I don't think anyone's going to be going back to the kingdom unless they're pure.
But what I just said there was how I felt like Israel and stuff. I knew, I kind of, you know what I mean? I knew that he had problems and he didn't actually love me, but, it was like that. It was just like that.
We can talk about that later on the live stream. Which makes sense with some of our ancestors. Indeed, it does. I finally made it live. It's been a minute. Shalom. Thank you for stopping by, sister. I tried to do it earlier today because, people have work and stuff. So I tried to do it a little bit earlier around people's lunchtime and stuff. But let's continue.
Many parents have experienced a lack of unconditional love in their own childhood. They were not truly received by their parents either. This has left a deep-seated pain and sense of abandonment in their being. When they have a child themselves, they embrace it with mixed signals. On the one hand, there is a genuine love in them, but on the other hand, there is a subconscious need to make up for the loss. Parents often try to heal their own emotional wounds uh, through the relationship with their child. When they do so unconsciously, they use the child as substitute parent. The child needs to give them the love they um, sorely missed in their own childhood.
Yep, it's all projection. It's not healthy. It's sad, man. Like this just makes me sad. Yeah, it's not out of judgment. It's just making me sad that this is just how it is.
Whenever the child achieves something that makes the parents proud and the child is complimented for it, they may feel their heart open up from gladness that they are liked and appreciated. But if the parental pride is not from a source of genuine understanding of the child, if it is not based upon what the child itself aspires to, but more on what society expects from the child, then the pride is really a kind of poison. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they're not seeing the child for who they are. They're seeing them for who the society wants them to be. So basically, like grandeur and a vision for them to be a high status in society instead of them just being themselves.
Exactly. They put their own expectations on what they think a successful being is instead of what they want to be or what they are. Right.
The child is
Hold on, let me read some comments. Oh, I'll need to have one comment. Yes, I say all the time that we all need healing. Some just don't know how to get there because we were bamboozled. Indeed, and that's why we can't speak from a judgmental standpoint. You know, we just have to chalk it up to Babylon and just be our best selves. Let people heal, let them go on their own journeys, and just be an example for them. That's the only thing we can do. All right.
The child is rewarded for living up to external standards, whereas love means that one gets in touch with the child's inner standards. What they want to achieve is in this lifetime for themselves. When attention is systematically focused on outer achievements, the child will be fooled into believing that achievements equals love, and they will tend to grow a guilty conscience when they are not doing what is right, what they are supposed to do according to external standards. As an adult, they may become someone who does not recognize when their boundaries are crossed or when they are working too hard. They will simply find that they feel the urge to achieve all the time, not understanding why working hard has become an addiction. Another distortion of the true energy of love is when the child starts to confuse love with emotional dependency. Many children feel loved when they feel needed by their parents. They are actually filling a hole in their parents' heart, a hole that the parents have not taken care of themselves. And when the child steps into it, it offers itself as a substitute parent. It seeks to provide the love and support the parents are missing inside. In this way, it wants to please the parents and get the love it so sorely needs. But this kind of service is not love. Of course, it is a dangerous entanglement of energies that will create a lot of difficulties later on in both the relationship between the parents and the child and the intimate relationship the child will enter into as an adult.
That's just, I don't even know how to respond to that. Like, this book is crazy. So the child starts to be the parent for the parent because the parent has holes left by their parent. And then the parent acts like those holes don't exist.
That's how our father was.
That's how a lot of parents are. Oh my gosh. This has been a great live, brother. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Peace be with you and the beautiful nation. Choose love over all. Thank you for stopping by. By the way, Wakande is the one who told me about this book. Like most of the books I have. So shout out to him. Yes, as a mom, I had to realize that with my daughter, she was a track star running for University of Houston, and I didn't understand why she wanted to stop. It's not my life, and I must let her fly. Indeed. Indeed. That's cool, though. She was a track star. My sister did track, too. This information is great. Thank you, sister. Glad to have you. Glad you could bless us with your presence. Wow. That is so true. This makes a lot of sense. It does, bro. This book, man. Listen, if you guys missed it at the beginning, made a PDF of it. But go ahead. Here. Wait, hold on. One more comment. Practice makes permanent. Open your heart chakra and filter your thoughts through the lens of compassion and empathy. Some will realize this only once they fall in the belly of the beast and seek God. Wow. This person got the got the quotes, man. Yeah, a lot of people have to work on their heart chakra. You know, they definitely do. And I'm blessed that that's my strength. That's my natural strength is actually the heart chakra. You know, that's why I like Jade so much. Heart chakra gang. And I'm pretty good at forgiveness. I'm not gonna lie. What's the name? Jeshua Channelings. Gotta let your babies fly and guide them if we see it's needed. Because the Great Spirit is always watching or guiding. Spiritual parents and physical parents always, and I'm guessing there's more to that message. But yes, we're doing too much. We're doing way too much. We're doing way too much as parents. We just gotta do enough. The Most High is their real parent. We're acting as their parent on earth to lead him or lead them back to their real parent, the Father and the Mother. Father, Sky, Mother, Earth, and the Great Spirit. Wakantaka. Go ahead.
When that happens, the messages "I love you" and "I need you" get completely mixed up for the child. The child's energy will not be her own anymore because it will feel sucked up by the parent's need. And this being sucked up will actually feel good to the child. It will provide a false sense of safety, which by the time the child is an adult will make her feel like she is being loved deeply by someone when her energy is depleted and owned by that person. She will feel loved and appreciated when she is stretching her limits to give the most she can. She will interpret emotional dependency, even jealousy and possessiveness, as a form of love, whereas these energies are diametrically opposed to it. This tragic loss of self is born from the association of love with need. So far, I have stressed that when you come to Earth as a child, you are submerged into an ocean of forgetfulness, a net of illusions that at first seems to tie you down very thoroughly. However, from the soul level, you consciously allow yourself to be led astray. Deep down inside, when you incarnate on Earth, you trust that you will find the solution and the way out. It, it is your mission to find the way out of the illusions, to bring the energy of the solution, the energy of love and clarity out into the world available to others. At certain times in your life, there will be opportunities and possibilities that will help you fulfill this mission. As you grow up, you will meet certain people or situations that will invite you or challenge you to find out who you are.
Okay, hold on. That's a lot of information. That is a lot of information. Where do I start? Where do I start? Okay, so pretty much all parents are really doing these days, they're just leeching off of the energy of their children. And then once they're finished, the child is depleted. They don't even know who they are because they spent their whole lives trying to be who you want them to be. And that's where the rebellion comes in. The quote unquote teenage rebellion. That's because they're adults now and they're sick of being your leech, or they're sick of you leeching off of them. That's where it comes from. You know, this is how I view parenthood. I'm supposed to see let's say my son, right? I'm supposed to see my son as I'm pretty much raising a king, like literally a king of like a whole country. Like that's kind of how I'm supposed to view it, and it's my responsibility to make sure that my son lives up to his potential, right? And whatever choice he makes when he's an adult, that's on him. But up until he is of the age of 14, that's my responsibility, and I'm supposed to own that responsibility. If they do something wrong, I'm supposed to say, oh no, like, how you're not going to be able to be a king if you're doing that. you know I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't even know what parents even say. Like, because again, I don't really, I'm a forgiving person. I don't really like hold on to stuff like that. I don't really hold on to all the stuff that has been said about me. I just let it go. I just forget it. But just all the stupidity that parents probably say to their children. You know, we're supposed to uplift them. We're supposed to see them truly as kings and queens. People say it. Black people always saying, "Hey, what's up, king? What's up, queen?" All that's foolishness. I don't believe what you're saying. That's insecurity. You don't treat me like a king, so why you calling me king? Well, you don't treat so and so like a queen. Why are you calling her queen? You don't do it, so what's the point of saying it? That's all words. There's nothing behind it. So I don't believe that. That's a bunch of insecurity. Exactly. Oh my God. This is deep, deep. I know. I know. This book is fire. This book is fuego. Good Donkey. That's a great book. I'm gonna have to read that PDF. Good Donkey. Is that like a is it like a Mexican thing?
Maybe.
Maybe. Why you said it so fast? That's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, it must be like a Mexican thing.
It might be.
Everything got to do with the donkey.
I like donkeys.
They like donkeys. They like the burro. My burro is mi amiga. The Father gave us free will. Allow the kids to have their free will. Indeed. Exactly. Allow them to have their free will. You're only responsible for them up until a certain point. Listen, Josiah was the most righteous king that we had, and he took over Israel at age 8. His mom did a fantastic job. That's why. That's why. If Josiah had 2 wicked parents, he wouldn't have been Josiah. Or I should say, Huayna Capac. See, he would not have been Huayna Capac, the youngest Inca, if he didn't have a righteous mother.
Yeah, like you and me.
What you mean?
You were righteous.
I appreciate it. What is the name of the book? Yeshua Channelings. The Yeshua Channelings. I don't know if it's backwards or not, but yeah. I put it in the community tab. You can continue. Yeah.
At certain times in your life, there will be opportunities and possibilities that will help you fulfill this mission. As you grow up, you will meet certain people or situations that will invite or challenge you to find out who you are. You will be gently pushed, or if you are stubborn, violently provoked by life to detangle the knot. If you need to let go of the false images of love that were a part of your upbringing, part of your parents' energy, this may trigger an identified crisis, similar to what has been described in the first year of this book as the first stage in the transformation from ego to heart. It may seem that nothing is certain anymore, and that everything you believed in is under scrutiny. Indeed, your soul will leave no stone unturned to bring you home. Your soul will knock on your door incessantly until you open up and set yourself free.
Yep, and that's pretty much what happens. Everyone once we leave our parents, that's when the process of unlearning begins. It just so happened that it was kind of early for me. Like I won't forget it. Like when I was about 18 years old, I was participating at my own job because I worked in a psych lab. When I was in my first year of college, I worked in a psych lab, and I had to pretty much write my experiences, or like any sort of traumatic experience that I wanted to talk about. And I decided to talk about my mother. And as I'm writing it, I'm just like, why am I still talking to my mother? I don't equate how she acted with love. So why am I talking to her? I was like, you know what? She says she talks a good game, but I don't believe her. And that was pretty much how it went down. I just like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. 18. So yeah, I just did it at an early time period. I was just like, nah, I don't think that I don't really know what true love is, but I don't think what she was showing was love. I think that was just a convenient behavior. That was conveniency, if that's a word. That's not necessarily love. It's not unconditional. When we give another free will and don't approach on one another, uh, I think you mean not approach. I don't know, but on one another, and peace will reign like gold on Messiah's crown in the world. The 1,000 years of peace. Thank you for that. Hey, brother, I'm gonna catch up next time. Gotta get ready for Babylon work. Hey, that's coming to an end pretty soon, but I appreciate you stopping by, bro. We're about to end soon anyway, but thank you. You can continue.
Major events in your life are always geared to offer you opportunities to grow and return to who you are. But it takes courage, determination to get to the bottom of this quest and to regain the energies of the newborn child, untainted by the illusions of the loss of mastery, love, and oneness. You will likely find yourself opposed to your own soul energy for a while, for it may lead you astray from what you regarded as normal and befitting for you. Your soul may seem a wayward guest to you, as you have been getting used to the ways of the world, the ways of your birth family. It takes both the male energy of self consciousness and discernment and the female energy of love and understanding to release yourself from ego based consciousness regarding your parents' discernment means that you distance yourself from the fear ridden and limiting energies that they fed you. Remember the importance of the energy of the sword that I mentioned in the beginning. To let go of your birth family in the spiritual sense, you need to be able to distinguish between their energy and your own, and you need to be able to cut cords that limit and suffocate you. This is not primarily about expressing anger and frustration to your parents or telling them where they were wrong about you. It may be a good thing sometimes to try to make clear to them your position on things or your feelings about them. But in many cases, they may not understand what you are trying to tell them. They may not resonate with the part of you that is different. And at odds with their outlook on life, release the ties to the parental energy means first and foremost to release the energy from their own mind and emotions. It is about looking within and finding out what extent you implicit impli- implicity
Implicity.
implicitly live by your parents. Set illusions by their do's and don'ts, which were based on fear and judgment. Once you are clear about this and you allow yourself to let go, you will be free to forgive them, really. Leave the parental house. It is only after you sever the cords on your inner level and take responsibility for your own life that you can really let your parents be. You will have clearly said no to their fears and illusions. Sword discernment. But at the same time, you will see that your parents are not identical with their fears and illusions. They also are children of God simply trying to fulfill their soul mission. Once you feel this, you can feel their innocence and you can forgive. In a sense, you have
This
been the
book is
victim.
fire, bro. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
In a sense, you have been a victim of your parents as they represented ego based consciousness in your childhood. You may have temporarily and partly lived according to their illusions. In a way, you had no choice as their child. However, to transcend your sense of being the victim, here is one of the most powerful breakthroughs you can have in your life. It makes you a free person when you can recognize the deep energetic imprints from your childhood and consciously decide which ones benefit you and which ones you'd rather let go. This is mastery. You then no longer subconsciously adapt to the wishes and longings of your parents when they are not your own. At the same time, you no longer rebel against them either. You can see the false images they offered you as simply not belonging to you, period. You do not need to judge your parents for burdening you with these aspects. You can be loving and discerning at the same time. One might say that you are introduced to ego based consciousness through your parents, and you transcend it through them as well by letting them go in love and forgiveness, by recognizing yourself as the independent master that you are.
Yeah, so it's more than just, you realizing that your parents weren't the best parents, but it's also realizing why they weren't the best parents. And it really is because what they're doing is still coming from a place of innocence. They don't know. They didn't really know what they were doing. So it's up to you to break those teachings, go back to love, as well as understand that they don't really know it. And you're just blessed to know it. Thank you. Peace and love, brother. Thank you for stopping by, bro. You probably already left, but um wow, I really feel a deep sense of familiarity with teachings of this book. Yes. Seriously, I've spoken about a lot of stuff before. But yeah, this stuff is everywhere. I see this a lot myself.
At this point, I would like to speak specifically about the lightworker soul in relation to his or her birth family. Lightworkers often carry within them an extra assignment in regard to their parents or birth family. When they come to Earth, lightworkers have a specific intention to awaken to themselves, free from ego based consciousness, and to plant seeds of matzah conscious on Earth more strongly than others. Lightworkers want to teach and heal others, helping them grow towards a heart based consciousness. For that reason, many light worker souls are born with parents or in families which are heavily stuck in the reality of ego based consciousness, because it is in their intention to break open stuck and rigid energy patterns. Light workers are drawn like a magnet to problem situations in which the energy is
Bro, this stuff
stagnant,
is crazy.
like in the dead end alley. The light worker comes in with a certain awareness, a certain spiritual sense that which makes him or her different, not fitting into the family's expectations or ambitions. The light worker child will somehow, by what she radiates, expresses as her truth, challenge the family's basic assumptions about life. She almost instinctively will do everything to get the energy moving and flowing again.
I wish I would have read this before because I would have put in the title The Light Workers. Man, that's dope. I like that. I like that term, the light workers.
While the lightworker soul thus wants nothing more than to be of service to the parents and family, they might look upon her as the odd one out, even as the black sheep. When the inner beauty and purity of the lightworker child is not recognized as such, she will often temporarily get lost in emotions of loneliness and even depression. When they start their incarnation, lightworkers have the confidence deep down that they will find their way out, that they will overcome the limiting energy of their birth family. However, when they are actually born on Earth and grow up, they are exposed to the same dilemmas and confusions as any other child. In a certain sense, they experience this confusion more deeply and more intensely because they are spiritually aware souls who are often older and wiser than their parents. They are very much aware that something is not right
Hold
about the
on, bro.
energy of the environment.
Can you read that again, please? Yo.
Because they are spiritually aware souls who are often older and wiser than their parents, they are very much aware that something is not right
Oh
about the
my
energy in their
gosh.
environment.
They're old. Man, I'm sorry, I'm loud.
Okay.
Go ahead.
On the inner level, they clash head on with the parents' energies, not understanding or resonating with their mindset or behavior. This clash causes great distress inside them, gentle and sensitive as they are. They have to find a way to survive emotionally, coping with the fact that they both love the parents dearly and are very different from them. This causes a lot of psychological problems in lightworkers, ranging from loneliness, insecurity, and fear to addiction, depression, and self destruction. Thus, your journey on earth and places of darkness where the energy is stuck and hostile is not without risk. It is a dangerous mission. Don't forget why I call you brave warriors. It is for this reason you are like pioneers who venture out into strange and unknown territory. There are no signposts or markers. The environment in which you start your journey is inhospitable and does not feel like home. You will have to create the energy of home for yourself, with only your own feelings and intuition as your compass. As a light worker, you are a pioneer who wants to break the barriers of old and stifling thought patterns and release the energy stuck within. You're almost always the first one in your environment to do so. You do not meet your soulmates until later. It is the struggle by yourself that marks you as the true warrior that you are. You will have to find a way out by yourself, and once you have done so, you will attract like minded spirits into your life, people who reflect your awakened state of being.
Bro, what is this book? Hold on, man. Who wrote this book, bro?
Lots of.
This lady right here. Yo, who is this lady, man? Some lady from the Netherlands. What the hell?
The solitary struggle you all have to go through to discover your light is the heaviest burden for you. On the soul level, you have chosen that path consciously, but to live through it as a child of flesh and blood is a painful thing that wounds you deeply. I urge you to feel and recognize this pain in yourself because only by connecting to it, it can transform and release it. Once you know that wounded child inside that took the cross of alienation upon its fragile shoulders, you will get to the core of your burden. When you get to the core, the solution is nearby. You only need to embrace the pain, that child, with a pure and deep awareness. From the awareness, an energy of compassion and deep respect will reach out to the child. You will lift the cross just by being with yourself and truly loving and cherishing that part of you that is different. This is how you bring the child home and fulfill your mission as the pioneer that you are.
Hold on, because this person wanted to know the name. Um, Let me see. It's Pamela Cribby, and that is Pamela. First name. Last name is Kribbe.
The Lightworkers' assignment in regard to their birth family is to become who they are. In doing so, they accomplish their mission. It is not their task to change their family. It is not your job to change anything outside of you. You are not here to make the world a better place. That's like, that's not the problem of her thinking that she has to change outside of her. She has to change her husband. You are here to awaken yourself. And yes, when you do so, the world will become a better place because your light will shine upon it and bring joy and enlightenment to others as well. But do not focus on the world, whether it is your family or any other relationship you enter. The real work is to let go of all those bits of ego based fear and illusion that you yourself absorbed so deeply as a child, getting to know these energetic imprints which partly created your personality and releasing the parts of it that do not belong to you. It is a challenging and intense process. It is about peeling away all the layers of the onion, and it is about being born a second time.
Hold on. No, the last name is spelled Kribbe. Go ahead.
By stressing the profundity, wait, what's that say?
Profundity.
Profundity
Prof-
of the inner process, the second birth, I do not mean to discourage you. On the other hand, I would like you to have a deep respect for yourself. You are the bravest warrior I know. You are pioneers who are kindling your own light in places of darkness and hostility. Pave the way for a new consciousness on earth. It is not your job to kindle a light in someone else's heart. It is up to them if they do so. You may offer a spark. You may set an example, but it is no way you're but in no way you are responsible for anyone else's awakening. This is important to stress, especially with regard to your birth family. You often feel instinctively as a child and more conscious as a grown up that you have to save your parents from their fears and illusions. Moreover, you often think that you have failed in this assignment. Dang. You feel that you have not truly been able to help your parents in the way you have envisioned. This line of thought rests on a mistaken perception of what helping really means and what your assignment is with regard to your parents. In reality, the situation is this. From your birth onward, you begin to absorb your parents' energy very strongly, as if they were your own. You cannot easily distinguish anymore where you begin and they end, because you observe their fears and illusions as well. You get intimately in touch with their emotional burdens. These burdens may have been passed over to them through several generations on either side of the family. There may be a karmic aspect to it, meaning that the same issue gets repeated over and over again until the spell is broken. This, this you may call family karma. There may be issues relating to an unbalanced male or female energy, energies resulting from old slavery traditions, issues pertaining to certain illnesses. This kind of karmic burden is solved when the energy stuck inside of it gets released and thus is not passed along to the next generation. Family karma is resolved when at last one member of the family breaks the link by setting herself free from the emotional burden that she absorbed from childhood, and that may even be in her genes. The family member who breaks the spell does not first and foremost by helping herself. It is about being focused on your own inner growth and expansion. The growth and expansion has an effect on the energy of the family. It opens up the possibility for members of the family to find the way out as well. The light worker who has freed himself of emotional dead end alley provides an energetic trail for others in his family. This accomplishes by his inner work and what radiates because of that, not by actually trying or even pushing others to change and move forward. What she offers her birth family energetically is the possibility of change. Her energy mirrors the possibility of change to them, and that is all she needs to do. Whether the family member picks up on the trail is entirely up to them. Never are you responsible nor is your spiritual mission dependent upon someone else's decision to change or not. You may have freed yourself of karmic burden that your family saddled you with and ridiculed or rejected for it by your family, and yet your mission will have entirely successful. You will have crushed the hypnotic hold that karmic patterns can have over a family line, and if you have children, the emotional burden will not be passed along to them. This is what your soul mission is about. Imagine you are living in a valley which is quite barren and dry. All of your community tells you that you cannot get out of the valley. It is all there is. You seem to be the only one to remember that there are much more lush and fertile lands than this. So after a lot of consideration, you decide to try your luck and climb out of the valley. The climb up takes a tremendous amount of strength and energy. Not only is the road very steep, there are no road signs or marks to hold onto either. While you are climbing up, you leave a track behind you. At some point, you come up out of the valley, and the landscape that lies before you overwhelms you with joy and a sense of recognition. You knew there was something out there and felt much more like home than your birth ground. Enthusiastically, you peer down and look for your family. You would like them to join you and marvel at this great vista. You would like to share your victory, but you can see no one down there, and when you notice some folks far off, they do not seem interested in your journey at all. This is what happened frequently to lightworker souls. I ask you not to mourn the loss of your family in this respect. You will have offered them a great service by walking out of the valley, by clearing the way and leaving a track. This track will stay there, and it will be used one day by anyone who wants to climb out of the particular valley. The track is an energy space that you have made available to them. It is the building of this track that was your purpose when you were born with these parents and in this family. It is not your purpose to make your family go up as well or to carry them out of the valley on your shoulders. That is not your task. Whenever you try to figuratively drag your parents or family up that steep hill, you are hindering your own growth and you will be disillusioned and disappointed. It is not the way of spiritual growth and alchemy. Those others that you love and want to share your light with may choose to live in the valley for another century or more. It is up to them. But one day, in their own time, they will uncover a little track that goes up and they will think, hey, this is interesting. Let's go up and try this. I am not having a good time down here anymore. And off they go. They will start their own journey of inner growth. their own climb into the light. And isn't it wonderful, isn't it absolutely precious that they will find marks along the way, a track for them to hold on to? They will have to go through their own struggles, but as they will have a beacon set out for them, which lightens their journey. As a pioneer, you will have cleared the way through a wild and unknown territory, and the road paved by you will be used with gratitude and honor.
This is some really heavy stuff, man. I can't. I'm not even commenting because this is just. You want me to read the rest? Where are you? Where are you? To be really free and to regain your mastership as an independent spiritual being, you have to let go of your birth family. You have to let go of them, not only as their child, but also as their parents. Wow. Let me explain this double bind. The child in you needs to let go of the hope that your parents will offer you unconditional love and safety. It has to turn to you for this, and you have to let it go. Oh, wait, and I'm sorry. Whoa. It has to turn to you for this, and you have to help it let go of the anger, sadness, and disappointed part of the child that feels betrayed by your parents. That is the child part. However, you also need to let go of the part of you that wants to be your parent's parent. It is typical of your lightworker souls that at some point when they grow up, they start to feel like they are the parents of their parents. I've complained about that so many times, man. Oh my goodness. The second birth? Indeed, the second birth. Yeah, that's what it said, right? Thank you. Um, because of their inborn desire to teach and heal their developed spiritual awareness, they often see their parents' fears and illusions clearly as they want to heal them. This may get you into a lot of struggle with your parents because your desire to help them is often intertwined with an unconscious need to be recognized for who you really are. In other words, the wounded child speaks through you when you try to help your parents. It is a recipe for disaster when you try to help others through the wounded parts of you. You will end up more wounded, and your parents will likely end up upset or confused. So you can't help your parents, man. Like we can't help our parents. All we could do is just be an example for them if they decide to repent. Right? That's all we are. That's why the Most High has had me around certain people. Now I see it now. And so they have some sort of pathway back to Him. And it's the same thing for many of you. Some incredible stuff, man. To let go of your parents means to let go of any desire to change them. You have to understand that it is not your task to lead them anywhere. Your mission is to deal with your own path. That is all. After you have truly parted with your parents, letting go of the double bind, you will find that a new space opens up between you and them, much more free and open. If they are still alive, the relationship with the parents may become less strained, as the energies of reproach and guilt will have left the scene. On the other hand, you may feel you do not want to visit them so often anymore. There may simply be a lack of common interests. In any case, you will feel more free in this relationship, setting your own course through life without the need for approval by them or the tendency to get angry and upset if they do not agree with you. In your life, you may get to know, in your life, you may now get in touch with people who belong to your quote unquote spiritual family. Your spiritual family has nothing to do with biology, genes, or hereditary. It is a family of kindred souls. And it says this in the Essene Gospels, right? Didn't it say this? About who are your brothers and sisters? It says this in Matthew and the New Testament too. But it says in the Essene Gospels, if I remember right. But yes, it has nothing to do with biology, genes, or heredity. It is a family of kindred souls. Often you know them from past lives in which you bonded through friendship, love, or shared a mission. It is very easy to get along with them. This is making me smile. Because I've had many people say, "Oh, like I've seen, like I feel like I've met you before." I know what they mean because we probably have met before. That's so cool. Oh man, damn. Who the hell put these onions over here? Yo, get these onions off the bed. Okay. It is very easy to get along with them, for you share an inner likeness. You belong to the same family. It is the kind of homecoming you experience. What made you feel different and lonely among other people first now becomes the foundation of your connection and mutual recognition. Bonding with your spiritual family is a true source of joy in earth life. The key to allowing it into your life is to find your own way out of the valley and to recognize the light within. When you're able to recognize your own light in an environment that does not mirror it back to you, you become independent and free. Unburdened by karmic aspects of your history, the fears and illusions that held you down, you will attract relationships into your life which are based on love and respect and which reflect your awakened divinity. And that's pretty much what it is, guys. Man, I learned so much today. I did not read this chapter. I was like, you know what? I like that subject. Let's read it. And I'm very, very pleased with that. I'm very pleased with that. That teaching is amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Um, I'll close out in about a few minutes. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'm gonna need to read that book. This book is straight fire. This book is straight flames. That one chapter is incredible. Like we met people before in past lives. That's why we feel this familiarity with them. Or we just come from the same place. Maybe we didn't meet in a past life, but we come from the same place. Yeah, we have to let go. We have to let go of being that parent for our parents. We can't baby our parents. We can't baby our spouses. We can't baby our siblings. We just have to lead by example and just move forward. Let them look at your light and learn, right? They will know by the spirit. I don't know who the hell is cooking something, but it's making me so damn hungry. Amen to that, brother. Indeed, indeed. And this makes so much sense regarding, the 144. We would be scattered throughout the ends of the earth, and the Most High would choose, different people in these different countries and these different quote unquote races, and who are of the seed of Israel. Don't get it twisted, but yeah, they're of different people, different nationalities and things. And he's gonna gather them. He's going to pick certain people. I'm guessing people who have really bad, karmic debt in their families, you know, and kind of break that curse. That's incredible, and we bond in that way. My sister getting down to the song. Don't tell them. Oh my gosh. We've all dedicated to have one another in our life from the foundation of the world. Indeed, we did. We did. We all knew each other. I can't wait to get home and read this. Thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. I'm so happy I read it today. I was supposed to read it before a few weeks ago. I was like, all right, let me do it now. Yeah, there's a lot of great topics in this book. That was just one chapter. Even the ones that get on our nerves, it was something that we loved about them to have them in our illusion or world. It's true. It really is true. It's just certain people. I'm just like I just can't. I can't get annoyed or I can't stay mad at you. You know. I don't know what it is. I'm just speechless. I'm speechless too. When she started reading some of that stuff in that chapter, I was just like, what the heck is this? Like, this feels like this came from the spirit realm itself. Got to learn how to let go. Forgive our parents. Realize that they, you know, they need help. You know, they have to do their own work. And you are responsible for anything that happens in your life. You decide to come here and do it. So own up to it and forgive them. What's the title? I have the author name. The Jeshua Channelings. That's Jeshua Channelings. This is the name of the book. It's in the community tab. I put the PDF in the community tab. How would that, brother? No problem. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Great Spirit. Hatun Apukuya. What are we going to talk about next week? I don't know.
You can do the other chapter.
The other chapter?
Yeah, next week maybe.
I don't know. Whatever the spirit of Mayween leads me to.
Yeah.
Wherever Kahe leads me to. Wouldn't you say this generational is generational because your parents went through the same thing? I definitely would. I definitely feel like, listen, that what she starts to read about the light worker, I was just like, that's me, 100%. That's my sister. That's another sister that I know, you know. So I know, I that just made it all clear. Ekadeshua is the parents of the Dekadashua. Is the I kind of. So with that, they still love them. We have to get to peace in the world. Oh, Book of Melchizedek. I didn't get to that part. See, Wakanda, he read far. But Wakanda, he reads like, I don't know. I don't even know if there's a comparison to it, but he reads a lot. So he pretty much already read the damn book. So I have to read that, bro. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. I appreciate you stopping by. And that's pretty much it. You know, I can't wait for next week. So I'll see you again. May peace be with you.